Hi, InfoSillies. Did you know what would happen if the Earth suddenly stopped rotating or if it began rotating in the opposite direction? Let me tell you a story about the extraordinary consequences of these changes, starting with what would happen if the Earth stopped rotating and then if it rotated in the opposite direction. Before jumping into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. The day the Earth stopped spinning. Immediate effects on humans. Imagine a peaceful day when all of a sudden, the Earth's rotation halts completely. The first thing you'd notice is that the Earth's surface is moving at around 1,670 kilometers per hour at the equator. If the Earth stops suddenly, everything that isn't anchored to the ground, people, buildings, oceans, would continue moving at that speed. Picture a wave of water and violent winds racing across the planet at that speed, creating massive destruction. Cities would crumble, landscapes would be wiped away, and the world would be in chaos. It would feel like an earthquake of the century, with so much energy released that it would be like multiple nuclear explosions happening all at once. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions would tear through the land as the planet tried to adjust to the sudden shock. Life would be turned upside down in a heartbeat. Long-term effects on humans. Now let's look ahead. The Earth has stopped spinning, and the consequences don't end with the initial destruction. One half of the planet would be in constant daylight, scorched by the sun, while the other half would be trapped in eternal night, freezing to the core. Can you imagine living in a world like that? On the sunny side, temperatures would soar to extreme levels, turning the world into a giant desert. On the dark side, the world would be plunged into a freezing, icy wasteland where survival would be nearly impossible. In the dark side's frozen wasteland, temperatures would plummet so fast that it might even trigger a new ice age. Glaciers and ice sheets would replace the forests and fields, making survival a constant struggle. The planet would be a place of extreme contrasts, with life clinging to survival in the few habitable areas left. And that's not all. The Earth's magnetic field, which protects us from harmful solar radiation, is created by the rotation of molten iron in the planet's core. Without rotation, the magnetic field might collapse, leaving the Earth vulnerable to solar winds and radiation. Imagine the auroras lighting up the sky, but with radiation swirling around us. Life as we know it would be in danger. Survival in extreme conditions. As the Earth's rotation stops, survival becomes more and more challenging. Agriculture, essential for food production, would collapse. Without the day-night cycle, plants could no longer grow in the traditional way. Crops would fail, and food shortages would become a daily struggle. Water could become scarce as well, due to flooding or evaporation from the extreme heat on one side of the planet. And can you imagine what would happen? Water wars. Nations and communities would fight for access to fresh water and fertile land. These precious resources would become fiercely contested as humanity fought to survive in a radically changed world. The Earth rotates the opposite way. Immediate effects on humans. Now let's flip things around. What if the Earth started rotating in the opposite direction? This change would disrupt everything, from the oceans to the atmosphere. Winds and ocean currents that have followed the same patterns for millions of years would suddenly reverse. What would that look like? Deserts might get hit with rainstorms, while cold regions could experience tropical weather. Imagine that. What once was a dry, barren land might suddenly turn lush and wet, and areas that were once warm might experience freezing temperatures. The weather would become wild and unpredictable. Hurricanes and cyclones would also spin in the opposite direction, completely changing the intensity and behavior of storms. Winds could become stronger, making the storms more powerful, while other regions might see a decline in storms. The world's weather would be completely unpredictable, and no one would know what to expect from one season to the next. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and share it with your friends. Your support means a lot. Let's spread the fun together.